The Rangers beat the Columbus Blue Jackets again, this time by a score of 5-3. And it's always big to rack up these divisional wins, as this division is extremely competitive. And the fact that the Rangers get 2 points and Columbus gets 0 as well, even more important. One big scare is that Igor Shesterkin did get hurt at the end of this game. He would leave the game with about 5 minutes, a little more than 5 minutes, 6 minutes left in the game, and Georgiev had to replace him. The Rangers would be no worse for wear. They'd win the game 5-3. I'm not sure if Georgiev or Shesterkin is going to play in the second game of the back-to-back home against New Jersey, so it's possible that Georgiev would have played anyway, and I kind of have a feeling that even if Shesterkin is all right, maybe they'll now go with Georgiev versus the Devils. But obviously, that's a big storyline in this game. I think he's okay. I think he was hit by Alexander Texier, who scored the goal to cut the lead to 5-3, and Patrick Nemeth pushed Texier into Shesterkin. But he was able to get off on his own. He was down for a while, but hopefully he'll be all right. We've heard nothing yet at this point about his status, but the Rangers win 5-3, and they did not get off to a good start. Columbus had played the previous night, and they lost at home to Washington, and the Rangers hadn't played in a while. They hadn't played since Monday versus Florida. So Columbus was definitely more fresh. Rangers a little bit rusty, and I didn't love the Rangers start, and the Rangers took a couple of penalties early. Keandre Miller took a hooking penalty that was killed off, and then Sammy Blais, who has had a penchant for taking penalties, takes a cross-checking minor at 8:09 of the first, and Jacob Voracek scores a power play goal at 8:59. It gives Columbus a 1-0 lead, and Columbus really to that point had, I felt, dominated play, but the Rangers scored a big goal with about 2:30 left in the first. It was a great night for Artemi Panarin, who scores from Adam Fox, who makes a great pass, and Ryan Strome ties it up at 1, and the score is 1-1 heading into the second, which I felt like was a win for the Rangers because I thought Columbus was the better team in the first period. And the second period is really where the Rangers played very, very well. But Columbus would score at 6:56. Eric Robinson gives the Blue Jackets a 2-1 lead, but the Rangers with a very quick response. In the next 45 seconds of game time, Chris Kreider scores his 10th of the season, his first of the game. He would score again from Jacob Trouba. Jacob Trouba does a nice job of keeping the puck in, pinching in, and Kreider with a little redirection past Merzlikins, the Columbus goaltender, and that ties it up at 2. About 30 seconds later, Panarin scores his second of the night. Strome with another assist on the Panarin goal. A really good pass by Strome where somehow he was able to find Panarin in just a snipe job. Really top corner, great shot by Panarin, doing damage against his former team. Gives the Rangers a 3-2 lead, but they weren't done there. Less than 30 seconds after that goal, Jacob Trouba scores his first goal of the season, his second point of the game, assisted by Goodrow and Gauthier, who I felt Gauthier had a pretty good game. And I'd expect to see him in the lineup against the Devils. He played very well. Very good pass by Goodrow and Jacob Trouba with one of his best games of the season. Like I said, getting 2 points. And the Rangers score 3 goals in a matter of 1 minute and 3 seconds. So they go down 2-1 and immediately respond with 3. And that was the key right there. Rangers make it 4-2. And they had a chance to make it 5-2 as they would get a power play at 11:47 of the second. Did not score. But they would also get a power play late in the second. This would carry over into the third, and they would score in this power play. And it would be Chris Kreider, second of the game, 11th of the season, with assists by Zibanejad and Fox. Makes it 5-2. And then, like I said, Texier would score to make it 5-3. And this was at 13:15, and this is where Shesterkin got hurt. And so that made it 5-3, but Georgiev came in. The Rangers did a really good job protecting the lead. Columbus didn't have a whole lot of chances, but the Rangers' top players really stepped up tonight. We're still not seeing a whole lot from Lafreniere or Kakko, and I don't love that, but it was a good night for, like I said, Panarin, Kreider, Adam Fox with 2 more points. He just continues to show why he's one of the best defensemen in the league. It was a good night for Jacob Trouba. I thought that Miller-Trouba pair was good. So a lot of the top players played well for the Rangers in this one. And now the Rangers improved to 8-3-3. So, with a big game against the Devils coming up, the Devils coming off a loss to the Bruins in an afternoon game. So, they'll be, I guess, slightly more rested than the Rangers. And that game was in New Jersey. Of course, this Ranger game was in Columbus. So, the Rangers will head back home. And if they can win that one, that'd be really big. They're home against New Jersey. And then they have a game home against Montreal, who has been one of the worst teams in the league. So, you have a couple of chances for some more wins here. You got to take advantage of that opportunity. And I think that they can. The Rangers have definitely shown a propensity for, definitely winning games in bunches. We saw that in a 4-game road trip, and they're a bit of a streaky team. And again, Shesterkin was good at points, and it's not like the Rangers dominated them, but that one stretch in the second was the key. That 1 minute and 3 second stretch with 3 goals was the difference in this one. And Columbus has been a pretty good team this year. I think that most would expect the Rangers to be better than Columbus, and they've shown that in the 2 head-to-head matchups. But the Rangers, get the job done with a 5-3 win. Shots on goal 41-36. So the Rangers with 41 shots, they've been getting outshot most of the season. So that's a good sign that they were able to do that. The power play goes 1 for 2 with that Kreider goal, and of course he is, one of the best goal scorers in the league when it comes to power play. And Columbus was 1 for 3. They did score that initial goal by Voracek on the Blais penalty. But yeah, I mean, I think you have to like what you see from the Rangers. They did call up Greg McKegg, who did not play. He was a healthy scratch as Philip Hedl was placed on IR with that injury. We'll see when Hedl comes back. I don't think it's long term, but at the same time, I wouldn't expect him to be back versus the Devils either. My hunch would be that Georgiev, with this Shesterkin potential injury, I would say that Georgiev would be in. Gerard Gallant just did say, actually, that Shesterkin is fine and that he wanted to stay in, but they had to come off for protocols, and he's not concerned about his availability moving forward. So that's a good sign. So maybe it's no harm, no foul, and Shesterkin's in. We'll see. I tend to think that the way that Gallant was speaking, it almost feels like Shesterkin was going to play that second game against the Devils. And maybe if this injury is nothing at all, which it sounds like it is, maybe he will go for for that second game of back-to-back. So we'll see. But again, Rangers win 5-3 against Columbus, improve to 8-3 as they head home to face the New Jersey Devils for the first time this season.